So, welcome back to a little update video. We will talk today about GNS. We will talk about if NIO is now running. What the fuck is BYND doing? Is SAVA at its VNA? Is Highcraft mining now really falling? Is FFAI maybe ready to squeeze? And what the fuck did FCEL did in after hours? And what is Plug doing? If you're interested in the answers, just stay tuned. So, as always, I'm using this method here. If you want to know more, I made a separate video for this. I will link it at the end of this video, or you just search for the playlist Fractal method. So, let's jump into BYND first. So, just for the small and short overview, since IPO till our little squeeze in October, this was just one fractal. And since then, we are just doing higher low. So, wait a second. Here, just doing our higher low. Previously, I said, I said the higher low is finished with Friday 21 or the 21st in November, and we're just doing a little higher low since then. This is still possible with a tiny chance. That would mean you already did your V under A here. So, you did it already here, but you still had to do your T. We closed lower today. So in that case, we should go up from here. This would be a VNA, and your next target is somewhere in this range for A, pullback, and B is 43-ish. So, only problem I have is this gap here. In that case, and I really think the chances for this is very high right now, this whole thing was just our big A. In that case, we have at least to fall under 80 cents. And in that case, we will just get there. Here again, one thing, I did a little mistake. And except other YouTubers and predictors, which are saying, I'm not talking about this. I really did a little mistake because I took the gap from, I think it was here to here. That's wrong. The real gap is, because I looked not on the smaller time frames, I looked at the higher time frames. The gap we still have to fill is from 87 to 66. So just saying. And in that case, this wasn't your V. And you won't bounce here. You will most likely really fall down here to a little higher micro high low, and then you go. Yeah. Just saying, if you have stop losses, the thing is, if you're breaking under this line, 81 cents, in my opinion, you really very quick fall here to 66. Yeah. And then you filled all gaps. Then you're ready to go. Still, my stop loss line is still here at 59 cents. Just because if we break this, I think that's over. Or maybe you still have to do a new low, okay? And you start the whole thing over again, but then the discussion with reverse split and so on comes, and delisting notice and okay. But to say this right now, you still have a chance to bounce here. If so, perfect. If not, you should really quick fall, gap fill, and I would even maybe say at the second you fill this gap, you might even already run or just do a higher low and then you run. Yeah, the old is, it's over. I don't see that yet, but okay. Good. Next one, higher craft mining. And here also, just for a little overview, I said already in November, on December 25, we will get our peak target. You can track it with symmetry, where you take this power pattern, flip it here, and read it from right to left. This would look like this. And we would, I would say we will do this now. Yeah. With my tracking, here is your V, this is your higher low, your little a, your little b. You're already topped, in my opinion, here with your big A, which is at the same time your little c. And now you take the 0.5 pip from the bottom to the top, and you will fall to the 0.5 pip at $7-ish. If you're really doing repeating this one-to-one, well, then it will be a drop down to 289. I don't think we will see that. But, well, down is down. Is this maybe just a little pullback? Because gold is looking bullish. When you break over, what was that, $30, then this C is wrong, and we still have to do something up here. I don't think that. For me right now, if you look, this today could easily be your lower peak. You gapped here down, you gapped up, you filled this gap here. I think this was your lower peak. So what would you do next? Well, you would fall down, come up again. This would be your M, fall down. This would be a T. And then you will bounce in this area here. Next move then is $90 for B. Yeah? And as I said already yesterday, careful. You might do this. You gap down and bounce. That's the interesting thing, because you see, we fall down, we gap down, we came up again and filled this gap. You could easily say, with this little gap down here and the gap fill, that we are already here. So here, we would be already here, maybe. Yeah. In that case, the next move is really nice. Yeah. So play puts, or if you don't like to play puts, wait for $7-ish. Because the next move from $7 to $90, oh. Okay, next one, NIO. So again, for the little overview, for the bullish and for the bearish tracking, both already finished its B. And our next target is C. Yeah. In the C run, we already did our higher low and our A, and we are in the A pullback. So we got a pretty good run today. For the bullish tracking, it was still, this A pullback ended in a 0.5. This was would have been the higher low. This would have been already the run. And A normally is pulling back into a 0.5. So, okay. In this case, this could have been already our little a. For this, we should, here comes the stupid part. For this, we should still come back to the 0.5 at 526, and then we should go up again. This is only small micro tracking, but if you break over 626, then there is no alternative anymore. Your next target is 16 for B. I still think we have to come down here to V under A. Here, under 437. And this today was just our T. Yeah? In that case, you still have to fall down here pretty quick, because I think you will get, make that clear, you will get this V under A exactly at January 12th till January 2022. You will do your little higher low, and then you go. That's my version of it. And also, as always, if you look at this, you have your V, your higher low, your big A, and your head and shoulders pulling back to V and A. It's just the same like we did in 2020. V, higher low, big A, head and shoulders falling to V and A. So this here would be, wait, let me look again. 12 and 232, yeah. So this here would be January 12th, and this here would be January 22. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, next one, plug. Here I have 3 versions. One bearish, 2 bullish. Just in case, for the bearish version, this whole thing, so since 2013 till today, is just higher low of this. It really takes time. But for the bearish version, our last peak here was just T. In that case, you still have to come down here. That's my main order for this. For the 2 bullish versions, we have 2 things. First of all, we are finished. In that case, you have here your V, and like NIO, this is your A. With the difference, this is A. It bounced on the 0.5. I'm talking about this 0.5 here. Yeah. And this is already higher low. And let me look. You would still have to come back down to 185, but we are close. And then you go. Yeah. And your next target would be, where is it? 31 for your B. I still think, because if you look, we are still under the trend line. So I still think this whole thing here is just higher low of this downtrend, especially because we didn't do a big higher low. In that case, we still have to come down here under $1.02. You will do that till February 5. Then might be a little higher low, but then you go. Yeah. Especially because I expected the start of the pullback last Friday. And we started the pullback last Friday. So I think we will see this number here. Then we go up. For levels. For levels, if you go over $3, forget any bearish alternative. Then it's upside. If you go under 166, forget any bullish version. Then you go under $1.03. Yeah. And of course, if you break under 86 cents, same as BYND, that would be bad. Okay, next one, Fcelstock. Because of this little dip today, just for the overview. So, since May 2025, we are finished with this Fractal. We are already in the new one. Our target for the next big A is 800. For B, 20,000. Again, you won't see that without a split. If you don't do a split, you will reject this yellow trend line here. Yeah, but we only tracking for a little B here, so who cares? So for the overall tracking, we did for the micro tracking. For the micro tracking, we did our V in May. We finished the higher low with a V and A. We broke out of this massive trend line. For our A, we already did our retest and pullback of A, and then we are doing this. Since November, we are doing this. First, I said this could have been your A. Right now, I really think this is just a little higher low of this here. Especially if you look, normally your your 0.786 on the FIB is pretty good, showing you your little A. In that case, this would be a little C, this would be a little B, and here would be a little A. And the higher low is always ending in a V&A. And tonight, because of dilution news, what is for 200 million in shares, $200 million in shares, not 200 million, $200. So that means, what would that be? If we have 200 million, we're around 758, so let's say $7. That's 28 million shares. It's something, but it's not the end of the world. And if you look at this, this was only 14K volume. Yeah, so they're not even selling yet. But the thing is, with this candle, we instant drop to V&A. This could easily be already your V. Yeah. Next thing. And of course, your next target. Wait, how was it? Here. Your next target is here, 165 for B. And I always said in the last, I think, weeks, you see this here? We're still looking for a pullback in this range here. We didn't came that high, but wait, let's just adjust this thing. So it's absolutely accurate. So, right, let's do this. Is it working better? Yeah. Yeah, kinda pullback. So in that case, I have two versions here. Because from here I have the bars pattern. Yeah, from 2019 to 2020. Here's our V, our higher low. Here's our trend line. Here's our breakout to A. And here's the pullback. And this could be already this little breakout here. Yeah, this one. We come a little bit lower, but okay. So I have two alternatives here. First would be the absolute bullish one. And in that case, we would be already here. Yeah, maybe some stupid sideways, or we just gap up. Yeah, The only alternative right now I have would be we are in this pullback right now. And A is even higher. In that case, we would still have to do this. Yeah. But all in all, we're still looking for this. And this is still in this range here. Yeah. My targets are latest June to October. The problem with this is the June and October target is all this year. And this could easily take a full year. We only tracking this year. This should happen in the first quarter. So, no financial advice. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Okay, next one, SAVA. Today only the little update. If you are completely interested in the whole story, just watch the weekly recap video from last Sunday or Saturday. In short, we only want this gap here, this gap fill here, this one. And I said, I have only two versions. The first one is, this pullback is not finished and we still need a new all-time low. In that case, we would be right here now. We would fall into a new low. This most likely will take you 4 to 6 months. So 100% till June, then you would still have the chance. That is the bearish alt. The bullish version is this whole thing is one fractal. You have your A, your B, your C, your lower high, your midpoint, your T, your knife to V and A. And this whole thing is higher low. And the higher low is ending in a V and A. And our A is here. And our V, our bottom of A is here at $2.04. And today we did our V and A. So for the bullish tracking, my target is from January 9th to January 20. So two things. We might do the little micro higher low till January 9th. That means next week, Friday, I think. Yeah. And then you already start your gap up. In that case, the pullback of this gap up would be January 20. Or you're already doing the gap up because this stock is always Friday or Monday gapping. You're doing this already next week. Yeah, I wouldn't go into weeklies. Yeah, also not in January's. No financial advice. I would take Marches, because if you're not doing it and if you're still falling, you still can get out of them, and they should be fucking cheap right now. Yeah. Only alternative, as I said, if you break 175, you're doing the all-time low thing. Okay, but this thing looks right now just perfect. Okay, next one, FFAI, same shit. For the overview, this is the chart. With April 2025, we completed this whole fractal. Since then, we're doing the higher low, and for price targets, our big A, macro A, is at 153, big B at 5,000. Again, the same like FCEL, you won't come up here without a split. If there's no split, most likely you won't go over 153. But I mean, who cares? For what we have done, thing is, FFAI is also doing its higher low. If true, the higher low was finished on November 17, and since then we are doing a little higher low. I had before, if you want to backtrack me, or if you already watched it, I said this here could already have been our A, but I don't like it because we never did a V under A. Our A bottom is here. We came fucking close to it, but we never broke it. And the V under A has to break it. So that's why, in my opinion, this wasn't A. This whole thing is just a little higher low. And we just need 4 cents. Yeah? 4 cents to come lower than 1.02. Even it's only $1. Yeah, something like that. And that is easily doable till Friday. Well, and then is gap up time. Because FFA is always doing a V, a higher low, run. V, higher low, run. I already bought, no financial advice, I already bought some contracts because they are fucking cheap. But if you see till Friday something $1, 1 cent, or $1, perfect. Timing. I would say we start the run latest January 12th. And on February 19, we are ready in the pullback. Whatever it is, if it's this and pullback, or if it's this and pullback, I think this is already the pullback of February. Yeah. So do what you want with this. Here also the old, if you're dropping here down with volume and you're breaking 87 cents, same like the rest, then it's dead, in my opinion. Last one, GNS. So again, for the overview, we already finished the Fractal in April 2025. Since then, we already did maybe our higher low, our A, because we are over the trend line and are in the A pullback. Now 2 versions. My problem is, if you look at this, massive version, tiny higher low. So you could easily say that this is your higher low, but you're over the trend line, so not so likely. But if this is your higher low, this whole thing, okay? Well, in that case, here's your A, and you have, for this I really have to change my no line. In that case, you have to come down where is it? Here or here. Most likely here. Yeah, to 30 cents. And then you go. Also for this, my price target is, my time limit for this is, whatever you do for the bearish thing, you end your V on February 12th. February 26th is already your higher low. And then you go. For the bullish thesis, if this higher low is enough, yeah, then the old tracking still stands. This is your A. This is your A pullback. You might still have to come lower than this. Did we already do it? I don't know. So lower than this. And in that case, and that's the stupid part, February 12th, could be already your peak, and February 26 your pullback. Yeah. What targets do we have? Well, we already did in that case already our A. So our next target is $7 for B. And that is the only question, are we breaking C or not? Also all-time highs or not? But also like the same like FFAI, you always do your V, your higher low, and then you go. Here also, V, higher low, and then you go. V, higher low, and then you go. So I would more tending to that this is higher low. Let's see. 4 levels. If you break 83 cents, forget the alternative. If you're breaking 53 cents, you will come down here. Just say. Okay. I think that was everything for today. Yeah. As always, if you liked it, you can give me a like. If you have questions, write it into the comments. If you have wishes for other stocks, the same. I will link the Fractal video, the explanation video here. Playlist is here. And if you're interested, the button for the abo. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Yeah.